First of all, I want to welcome back everybody. Those came, Bikkurim Rabbi, tremendous Hatzlacha, Be'ezrat Hashem. We spoke yesterday about mitzvah Bikkurim, bringing the first fruits from the field. They grow. You have to bring them to the Beit HaMikdash and thank Hashem for everything that He does for us and how important this mitzvah is. That's really the hitir, how we able to use what Hashem gave us in the world. Gemara Masechet Berachot tells us that before you make a beracha, it's like gezel. How do you buy the stuff from Hashem? What He gives you? Through beracha. Before that, it's gezel. After that, it's yours. So those things that we don't make a beracha on, if we understand, and even those that we make beracha on, if we understand where it's coming from, now enjoy it, tfaddal. But if we don't understand where it's coming from, you're not allowed to use it. That's the idea of the Bikkurim. The Midrash tells us, it says in the pasuk, Bereshit bara. Anybody knows this pasuk? Huh? Flester, Beruchim Abayim. Where does it say that pasuk? If you know the first line, I'm sure you know the whole Torah. So Bereshit bara, Elokim says Bereshit, it says for the Reshit, for the first fruits, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. What does that mean? That the tachlit, the goal of the world, is to know where everything is coming from. Now, this should be a simple concept that we should all the time be thanking Hashem for everything we have. Every time we take a breath of air, every time we eat something, every time we use something, it should be pashut, simple. Why, on the other hand, it's so hard for us to really thank Hashem? We should be doing all day, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But we don't. We have to really work on ourselves to thank Hashem, to appreciate, to understand that everything is Hashem. Why is it like that? So, first reason, just because we don't stop to think. That's simple. Person, especially now in our generation, everything is so fast, so many things going on. We just don't stop to think where we're getting this from, and we're so busy with other things. We just don't stop to think. So number one, a person, once a day, say to himself, wow, how am I walking? How am I talking? Look at the beautiful world. If you do that already, you're going to be on a whole nother level. Thank Hashem. Already your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be 100 times better. Because now you're appreciating. So that's number one. Another thing is that a person has a teva, nature of what's called Koḥi V'Otzem Yadi. That's about me. Right? You make a sale. Why did you make the sale? I'm a good salesman. Right? That's why I made the sale. Or I'm very smart. So I know how to exactly do this, do that. And this is a nature that a person wants to feel himself who he is. Look, I'm worth something. I did something. And this is the opposite of the Hakarat HaTov. Because what you want to say, okay, Hashem does everything. What about me? So I'm a zero. If I didn't come to the meeting, if I didn't plan the meeting, if I didn't do anything, wouldn't happen. This is the nature of the person. And Hashem gave this nature of the person. Why did He give him this nature? That he should do things in life. If he does, okay, God, so I don't have to do anything. Hashem wants us to go out. But while we are going out and doing things, He wants us to remember that nothing is going to make a difference between if we do or we don't, and only Hashem is going to give us the beracha. And this is why it's so hard for us to thank Hashem. Of course, on things that are not in our control. Okay, thank you Hashem. But as soon as it comes to our personal doing, we like to say it's dependent on me and not on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, anybody else. And this is why it's so hard to have the Hakarat HaTov, to understand. Like there was my friend over here who just spoke last week, Mr. Safdie. He says we're not supposed to rely on Hashem, but we're supposed to only rely on Hashem. It's a whole different world. Yeah, rely on Hashem. Or if you make a nice business deal, you say thank you, Hashem. No, that's not good enough. We have to say it's only Hashem, and that is already very, very hard for us to do, to live in such a way that we rely only on Hashem. But this is the message why the Torah is telling us this mitzvah Bikkurim is so important, to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because this is the yesod, this is the foundation of, and the tachlit and the goal. Why are we here in this world? To thank Hashem and to understand that everything is from Him. I'll just give you one story from a lot of stories of the Gedolei Yisrael, big rabbis, that they went with this midah of Hakarat HaTov to HaKadosh, to how important it was for them. And we see this by Moshe Rabbeinu. They didn't even want to hit the ocean or the floor, the ground, because the ground helped them, the ocean helped them. So even to somebody that's something that doesn't even have feelings, we have to have thanks to. So I'll just tell you one story from my rabbi, Alav Shalom, Rabbi Sharabani. At the time he was teaching in a certain yeshiva, and he wanted to leave the yeshiva to go to back to Kollel, whatever it was, and he went to ask his brother-in-law, it was his rabbi, Cham Ben Zion Abba Shaul Alav Shalom. He says, can I leave the yeshiva? Because what was the question? They told him, if you leave the yeshiva is going to fall apart, it's going to close. It's a very big responsibility. On one hand, he wants to go to learn in the Kollel. On the other hand, let's say 100 boys, it's going to close down the yeshiva. Can he leave or not? What did Cham Ben Zion Abba Shaul tell him? He said, this Rosh Yeshiva that you work for, did he ever do something special for you? Let's say he's supposed to give you $1,000 your salary. Did he ever give you extra $1,100? Did he ever give you an extra loan, a special loan that he didn't have to do in the regular job that you're doing? He says no. He said, if no, you could leave. Even though yeshiva is going to fall apart. That's not your responsibility. But if you owe the guy, then you're stuck. This is how the Gedolim saw this inyan of Hakarat HaTov, how important it was, because this is the yesod, Ezrat Hashem, for relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and hopefully we will work on this and thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything He does for us. Let's just say now, everybody together, for me, number one, thank you Hashem for everything that you give us. And thank you Hashem that you send us such beautiful boys this year, Baruch Hashem, that we could grow together.